slip on the trail. Don't slip on the trail.
Good morning, besties. Welcome back to another video on my channel. If you're new here, you already know what to do. Sit back, subscribe, and I am a kindergarten teacher. I have been teaching kindergarten for a total of 1 year now, but I'm also a Montessori teacher for about 6 years. I wanted to let you guys know, I just want to debrief about like what worked for me and what did not work for me when it came to teaching kindergarten, because with it being my first year, there was so many things that I had to, I'm gonna drive and talk, like my eyes are on the road and you guys are on a tripod, so don't even worry about it. Don't even worry. There has been so much that I've learned this year just from being a first year teacher, because baby girl, I entered it with a whole different mindset, kind of the same, but a whole different mindset and expectations. And I just want to help any future teacher out there, any student teacher out there, first year teacher, just to, you know, if I can share something with you to help you, I'm gonna help you if I know it. Okay? Okay. So today is actually the last day of work for me as a first year teacher. This is a post planning day. But overall, we are cleaning out our classrooms, setting it up. If you did not see that video, please go watch it. Okay? That's what I'm doing right now. Yesterday and today. But first things first, I will say, when it comes to my classroom, I want to make sure that I have a calm down center, a calm down area. Okay? Let me zoom in a little bit. When I first set up my classroom for the first year, I really wanted to implement a calm down classroom, but felt like I did not have space for that. So 100% for this year, I will definitely be putting a calm down area in my classroom, because 9 times out of 10 you are going to have times where your students get very upset, and sometimes, most times, they don't know how to control their emotions. Like, I made that a factor in my classroom of teaching them to take a deep breath. Like, all of my students from this year know for a fact what I'm going to say if they're upset. Let's take a deep breath together. Let's calm your body down. And I would sit there and do it with them, and it would 100% work. So do the deep breathing techniques and teach them how to control emotions, but also have a calm down area in your room. Like, no matter if that's a chair, a beanbag, what else, a chair, a beanbag, a little corner with a nice pillow and some squeezy toys. I feel like that needs to be a given in kindergarten, because they have these little tantrums, stumping their feet, screaming. They really just need some time to themselves most of the times. So I would also say some things that did not work was not assigning jobs. I did not assign classroom jobs, mainly because I just felt like that would be too much of a hassle. It would be too much for me to do, when it's like most classroom job things I saw, like you would have like a pocket chart on the board or a dry erase something on the board where you write their name every day, and I felt like that would just be too much, like something else to add to the plate, and I would just assign a job as I went. That kind of, I wouldn't say it caused a lot of problems. The main problem that it caused was the line leaders. And when I tell you, kindergartners, they take line leaders very serious, and I'm just like, just get in the line. We're all going to the same place. Like, who cares? Who cares who's a line leader? And I would just say, whoever get in line first is the line leader. Like, it is what it is, okay? Definitely a type B teacher in most times, but that would cause just so many issues, like fighting, things like that. So what I would say I'm going to do is I am going to assign weekly jobs, and not just line leader job. I need so many different jobs, because they actually, your students can help you out a lot when it comes to behavior management, when it comes to responsibility and independence. And with me being a long-term Montessori teacher, one thing I want to promote is independence, confidence in this life, in this classroom. So jobs like a line leader, jobs like a line monitor. I started assigning line monitors off the off the rip. Like, I need to step into this classroom for a second. Who can be my line monitor? So line leader, line monitor, classroom janitor, or teacher's helper, pass out papers. Like, there's so many different jobs when I sit down and think about it. But I feel like that will make my students more motivated to have positive behavior so they can win those jobs and things like that. So I said I didn't do it, but I will be doing that next year. Now, something that did work in my classroom. Now, when it came to behavior management in my classroom, I did use Class Dojo. But when I first started, I wanted to use the bucket system. This right here, my friend, is the bucket system. It's basically these cute little buckets, and when the students do something positive, such as like following directions or being a great friend, you give them a tactile, an actual pom-pom, like little art pom-poms. I tried that for the first 5 days, but it just became like so much to handle. No matter how cute it was, I did not have time to pick up a pom-pom or find a pom-pom out of my bucket and give it to them and make sure they put it in their bucket and counting it by the end of the week or by the end of the day. It just was a total hot mess. That did not work out. So I'm going to use the buckets for something else next year. But as much as it looked cute, it just didn't work out. I think I'm actually going to use those buckets to put the popsicle sticks for whose job it's going to be. That might be what I'm going to do. So, yeah, bucket system, no, did not work. Class Dojo, immediately yes. It's so easy because you just literally give them a point on your phone, give them a point from home, give them a point in line, give them a point from your computer. It's technology, so it's like it's on your phone and computer. I didn't even have to say a word sometimes. I just take a dojo point and they all know, oh, I need to reevaluate my behavior. It works like a charm. I really didn't want to use it because everybody used it, but I see why. So that's that. It's like I'm learning. I'm not saying next year's gonna be perfect. What's up with the glare? I'm not saying that. Why is this glare so bad? Wow, why is the glare so bad? I'm not saying that next year is going to be perfect because I'm going to do these things. I'm still probably going to learn things and change things as the years go on. Y'all, what's up with the glare? I'm going to still probably change things as the years go on, but these are honestly the truest things that are coming to my mind. Like, yeah, that didn't work out. Also, I would say this may be a little touchy, but when it comes to the language spoken in the classroom, of course I speak English. My clerk spoke Spanish. Now this year I'm gonna have a clerk that speaks English, which is gonna help a lot because I felt like some of my EL students, they felt like they didn't need to try to speak English because they could just talk to someone in the classroom with Spanish. And no, like, we've been here a whole year in this classroom. You should know how to tell me things in English too. So that's going to be great for next year, so I am happy about that. So what I'm saying is not working is speaking to the students in their foreign language when they should be speaking in English. I honestly feel like the ones that I spoke to in English, when they wanted to come and tell me something, they specifically had to take the time to figure out what words I was saying, what words they needed to say, or they actually spent the time trying to learn the language because they're like, hey, like, I need to tell my teacher something. Like, I need to know how to say this in English. And it helped their writing, it helped their reading. Wow, this glare is real bad. It helped their writing, it helped their reading. It was just a win-win altogether. So that worked. Speaking in 2 languages did not work. Another thing that honestly worked for me was coming in a little before my scheduled time, like 15 minutes before, 30 minutes before. Now I do admit I did not do that many times because I got in a bad cycle of, yeah, you know the rest of being on time. I need to move my alarm clock up earlier because when you come in earlier, I feel less frazzled. I have more time to prep activities, reply back to emails, prep cool activities. And when I come in right on time, it's just the basics, the minimum I'm able to do. Change the learning targets, pick out the activity, and I want to be able to feel organized in all subject areas for that day. So, I mean, I'm not gonna make no promises, because no matter what time I come in, I'm still gonna make it do what it do. Okay. So yeah, that worked. Coming in late, don't do it. It doesn't work, sis. Because when your kindergartens come in, they come in full-fledged. Miss Brown this, Miss Brown that, Miss Brown. Thinking? Oh, out of the window. You cannot think, because all you got to do is, you got to tend to your kids when they come in. So, lastly, I would say, what are some other things that work for me? Oh. Another thing that worked for me was being consistent with my discipline. Towards the end of the school year, I will say I did not become, well, I did, but to a certain point I became lax. Like, it's the end of the year, like, please. But I was consistent with my disciplines and my behavior. If my thing was, if you got your name on the board, you have a chance to get it off. Like, it's not like it's there or it's dot. No. If you got your name on the board, it's not like it was there and it was permanent. You had many chances. You had to the end of the day to get it erased. So that worked, because they knew for a fact, like, hey, my name is on that board, I need to get it erased. Like, I need to make sure I get my recess back. It would take away 5 minutes of recess, and then also that would mean you would get a sad face in your folder for your mom to see. So most of the times they would do good things to get it erased within 20 minutes, within an hour. Like, it was their motivation to get their name off the board, and they would feel so accomplished when they did. So that definitely worked for me, because in the beginning I did not know what to do, but when I implemented those smiley faces in the take-home folders, game changers. If the student had a great day, which means positive behavior, I did not have to talk to them too many times, they made mostly good choices. Are they perfect? No. They're kindergartners. They have a lot of energy. You may have to redirect them sometimes. But the non-negotiatives was like hitting, talking back constantly, not following directions the first or second time. That would be an automatic get your name on the board. Talking on the carpet when I'm teaching, oh yeah, your name's going on that board, sweetie. And you're gonna have to show me you can get it off. So when they did have a smiley and didn't do any of those things, they would get one skittle when it was time for dismissal, like exiting out the door, and they would get a smiley face for their mom to see. Game changer, I tell you. Like, once I started doing that, it changed the game, because my first couple of weeks I just did not know what to do to make them motivated to have a smiley face. Like, the pom-poms wasn't working. The class dojo points, I would accumulate them at the end to get a treasure box, but I needed something on a daily basis. And when I tell you the smiley faces and the one skittle worked as the daily basis, yes, chef's kiss. If you don't do that, do something around that. One M&M, one gummy bear, but you have to let their mom know in their folder if they had a good day or not. Yeah, that definitely hit them where it hurt it. And overall, I would say I'm definitely doing that again next year. Like, I love that tactic. It works like a charm. One thing I also loved was my non-verbal hand signs. I had these non-verbal signs where I did not have to talk. I had a sign that had a mouse that said shh. I had a sign that had, I'm gonna put the pictures right here. I had a sign that said sit down. I had a sign with a chair. It was a chair that said sit down. I had a flag that said line up quietly, and they learned to know what each of those pictures meant. So sometimes I would just clap my clapping hands, show the sign, and they would know what to do. Now, the clapping hands worked, and that was just my way to get their attention. If they're talking too much, I would just, okay, that didn't work how I thought it would work. Like, instead of clapping my hands, it was a toy clapping hands, and that would get their attention, because they knew if they heard that clapping hands, it automatically meant quiet and listen up. So towards the end of the year, I'm not sure why it didn't work so much, but I feel like I know why, and it wasn't my students, because they know. But yeah, the clapping hands will get their attention. Hold up the sign, it's too loud. Clap the clapping hands, show the cleanup sign, ring that bell, time to clean up. So the nonverbal signs and the nonverbal cues where I don't have to raise my voice and scream, hey, everybody, let's clean up. No. Okay. Immediately, no. I don't want to do all the screaming while they're still busy and loud and talking. So nonverbal signs, yes. Something that did not work was calling out, telling them to line up just with my voice. I did that at recess, and I know for next year I do want a bell or a whistle to blow for recess so they'll know that it's time to clean up. Because yeah, the screaming, hey, you go line up, hey, you get a line, hey, save yourself, sis. Your voice is going to be gone within the next 2 days of school. So all in all, y'all, I'm about to go ahead and go into work. Those are my definite what worked for me, what did not work for me in my first year of teaching, and stamp that. That is advice of Kendall B. Okay, take it into consideration. And if you do any of these, please let me know, because sis, I'm telling you, I'm gonna help you a little bit. These gonna help you. Thank you, beauties, babies, besties, so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, besties.
Don't step on the trail.